Once upon a midnight dreaming, I woke up to a ghostly screaming, so I gazed into the crystal ball to see what was new. And what I watched was truly shocking. The demon chest, it was unlocking the 13 ghosts of Scooby-Doo.
The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. Woo! Spooky. October just started, and this is a great start for Scooptober, I'm not gonna lie. In today's video, we are gonna be ranking and kind of sort of reviewing the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, the 7th incarnation of the Hanna-Barbera Saturday morning cartoon block of Scooby-Doo is the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. It premiered on September 7th, 1985, and ran for one season on ABC as a half-hour program, and then ended on December 7th, 1985. So it's a 13 episode series, and there is a movie that we're going to talk about because we are talking about the villains today. I might do a standalone video about the movie if you guys want that. If you don't know my ranking videos, I look at the villains, how scary they are, what they did, and in today's video we have all real demons. These are real monsters, ghosts, whatever you want to call them. They are real. So without further ado, let's get into the first episode of this series.
Never mind.
Look, we win! 13 ghosts in a wide variety of shapes and powers, and they're all yours!
Alright, here we go, guys. We have our tier list all set up here, and we are going to be ranking these villains from the first episode all the way to the last episode and the movie, of course. Here we go. Let's start off with Bogel and Weerd. These guys, these two little goobers of ghosts. These guys are the companions of any type of ghost or demon that we have in each episode. They are the ones that are the little henchmen for the villain and ghost or ghoul and monster, and they help them out. Usually they don't help them. They actually do the opposite, but they're the ones who, specifically Weerd, they're the ones who tricked Shaggy and Scooby to open the chest of demons in the first place. So just for that, Weerd is gonna go in alright, and Bogo is gonna go in mid because they're great designs of ghosts. They're very unique. They're iconic as well, like some might say. And I really enjoy their whole, what they bring to the show. They're the little comedic thing. It's like the Three Stooges, where it's the one smart guy and then the two bumbling idiots. But the bumbling idiots are turned into one ghost here. Next up, also from the first episode, is the Werewolves. Now, these guys, this is a whole town that once that town, because if we're going to talk about the story a little bit, this town that was in the Himalayas, that is in the Himalayas, they got a curse put on them because they are the ones who captured the 13 ghosts. Now, I'm going off of their story because it varies from the movie to this, and I'm assuming that Vincent had a house there before the whole curse thing, and he's like the main warlock who helped capture the 13 demons. Forgetting about all that, all the townspeople except Vincent, for some reason, have a curse put on them where every night, if the moon is full, what do you think? They're gonna turn into werewolves. So, and I guess they have wolfbane juice that turned Daphne into a werewolf, as you can see here, and I'm gonna put them in alright. But it was a great start to the series. We got to meet Flim Flam. We got to get a little bit updating for the gang. There's no Fred. There's no Velma. Daphne has a new fit. Shaggy has a red shirt. This is red shirt era Shaggy. Okay, great era. And we have Scrappy and Scooby, of course. And just the whole episode, I guess, is pretty scary, so that's gonna bump them up. If we're just talking about werewolves, they would be an F tier. But just all of the iconic, and they're not even, they are real. These are real people that transform into werewolves, all that. But because of Flim Flam's Lots of Luck Joy Juice, that amazing recipe, congratulations Flim Flam, awesome job. Next up, we have Asmodeus from the Curse of the 13 Ghosts movie that came out in 2019. Now, this movie, let me tell you, it's a ride. I enjoy it. A lot of people hate it. I do hate that they didn't really take everything from the original show and take it to heart. Like, if you're gonna do a reference to the original show, do it correctly. The biggest example of that is Asmodeus, who's supposedly the most powerful of all the demons and is the ruler of the 13 ghosts, and he is the 13th ghost, and he's also the grandpa of Vincent Van Gogh, supposedly. It's a lot, but obviously it's not, because Asmodeus is fake. He was Vincent's companion that helped him capture the 13 ghosts all that time ago, and that doesn't sit with me, that they really couldn't just make it the actual 13th ghost and end it off. No, the 13 ghosts still out there, waiting to be captured or waiting for the next person to open the chest. So, Asmodeus, buddy, he did a horrible job, because it wasn't even a real flippin' monster. It was a guy in a mask who had some powers with his whole entire, flippin' flame system that he had going on. The design's really nice. All that to say he's mid. Anyway, next up we have Maldor. From the second episode of the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. He is a more menacing and very powerful demon ghost. He is pretty insane, I'm not gonna lie. So in the episode, we meet Maldor. He has the power of turning everything basically just bad. Like, everything's bad. Trees come alive, try to get the gang. A bush comes alive. A rabbit turns into a dragon. And he puts the main princess in this story episode to sleep for eternity. So she's dead, basically. Not dead, she comes alive in the end, but you know what I mean. So this eternal sleep he puts the princess in, whatever. He's up in the castle looking for the Wonder Wand, and the wizard who came up and made the Wonder Wand, which basically turns everything amazing, but in the wrong hand, it turns everything evil and could destroy the whole planet, according to the wizard who created it. Now, Maldor is looking for it. I don't know why he's looking for it, because he already has enough powers to do crazy stuff. But he wants more power, obviously, because he's a villain. And we find out that the Wonder Wand was just in the kitchen the whole time. Scooby finds it, Scooby holds the power, and Maldor gets a little bit mad after a bunch of shenanigans and goofy hijinks, because this episode really shows the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo and how goofy it is. Like,
You have the Wonder Wand of Zakras! I do? Good ducky. Here, boy. Give me the wand. Good ducky. Drop it.
It is very funny. So Maldor, he's gonna go and would kill me. He's so powerful, and when he goes up to size and turns into a giant, literal giant, this scene gives me chills. How like crazy it is. Like, he is literally triple 20 times the size of Scooby. It's insane. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in would kill me tier because he's that powerful, but he does fail in the end, turns into a frog trying to get Scooby, and gets captured. So we all live happily ever after. Me and my shadow demon.
My shadow demon strolling down the graveyard lane. Me and my shadow demon looking for a way to escape. And when it's 12 o'clock, you'll start to dream.
So next up we have Queen Morbidia from the Me and My Shadow Demon episode, and we also have the Shadow Demon, of course. Now, Queen Morbidia was the actual demon all along, and the Shadow Demon was actually kind of a good guy. Queen Morbidia actually is going to be higher up here and would kill me, and Shadow Demon is going to be in alright tier. Now, Queen Morbidia, reason being is she was very powerful. She it's had this whole party going on with all these little other demons, these ghosts and ghouls of galore, and she got caught easily, I guess, but her powers alone put her up there. And Shadow Demon, pretty fun. He's mischievous. He is a shadow. He's a ghost, so he can duplicate, go for walls. And his owner, which is this short, nerdy dude, is the one who created the Shadow Demon. It was his own shadow all along. I don't know how that worked, but it makes sense, I guess. I don't really understand all of that. Next up, we have the mirror monster thing. Now, this is a demon that this is a demon that takes the form of a mirror and eats people from the mirror. It's pretty strange. So Scooby and the gang go to the other side of the world, into pretty sure Egypt, I'm probably wrong, and they get to see the mirror demon while they're there for the whole entire ghost hunter, and everyone knows them at this point. Like, they're like, yeah, these are the guys who are getting all the 13 demons. So we find out about this guy, the mirror monster, and he is very powerful, so he's also going and would kill me. Very powerful. He can just eat you guys and transport you to this whole nother dimension that has like mazes and weird, crazy, abstract stuff. Like, his whole design is very abstract as well, if you can see it here. Next up, we have Zomba, the evil demon that turns you into the TV show. So basically, Scooby and the gang watching a movie, not really new. They've seen it 100 times, supposedly. The son of the bride of the ghost of Frankenstein. And let me tell you, Scooby and the gang get sent to that movie with Vincent, and Zomba, she's the one who was in the TV. Where does she go? Into the real world, and she is going to get the demon chest. She, of course, is the demon, so how is she going to open it? I don't know, but that was part of her plan. She did a pretty bad job, because if you really think about it, she can't open the chest, and also her curse is permanent, but once she goes into the chest, it's not. So somehow, some way, she goes back into the TV with the chest to get one of the human beings in the TV show to open it, I guess. Well, the gang gets it, they capture her and get all sent back. The end. Zomba, she had a horrible idea. It was pretty bad. She's a very iconic character. The episode's very nice. It's a very enjoyable, funny time. And I think me from the past watching this episode can explain it a lot more. I would rate Zomba, honestly, right now after watching it. She's pretty good. She had a good idea, but it didn't work out, and she's like, no, like, she's not scary. If I saw her on the street,
she's got scoliosis.
Yeah, if I saw her on the street, I would feel bad for her, honestly. Okay, and what's that neck do anyway? She's probably gonna be a B tier or C tier or whatever I make that tier in the future. So when I said B or C tier, I meant C tier. Okay, Zomba's going in mid. All right, I don't want to put her in F tier, but she's almost F tier. Next up, we have the amalgamation and the ship captain from the ghoulless ghost ship episode. Scooby and the gang once again hunting for ghosts, and they realize Scooby's like, he's done. Scooby's done. He's like, I am done with this. I do not want to hunt ghosts anymore. I do not want to. He's tired of seeing these real ghosts. So they go on a cruise ship to ease his nerves. And it didn't really ease his nerves. He was still scared out of his mind. What you don't know is this ship is going to the Bermuda Triangle. What you also don't know is the Bermuda Triangle is the only place where the supernatural can open the chest of demons. And Vincent can't get transported to their ship. It's all this bad stuff is happening. Scooby's scared, out of his mind. It seems like a normal ship, though. There's no demons in sight except Bogel and Weerd. But we find out that this is a ghost ship they are on. And the person who told them to go on this ship was also a ghost. And he is the ship captain. So let's talk about the ship captain. He is not a demon, but he has a big part, and he is somewhat part of the demon of the episode. So he is going to go in mid. Reason being is just because I don't think he does enough. He does a lot tricking the gang, but like, it's not like crazy. The amalgamation would kill me. It has this wind ability where it can suck you in, and it literally ate all the other ghosts on the ship, because once we find out they're all ghosts on the ship, it was the 15th anniversary of the ship being haunted. Then they summon the amalgamation once they reach the Bermuda Triangle. And yeah, this guy is weird. Tentacle monster, one eye, cyclops, sharp teeth. He's just insane looking, and I love it. I love the design. I love the whole entire thing, what he can do. It would kill me. Okay, we have another demon queen type thing here. We got Nekara, I think I'm saying it right, from the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. Obviously, she is basically Aphrodite from Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, but better looking, and she has her love spell. and once she casts the love spell on you, she can, if she kisses you before midnight on Friday the 13th only, all these limitations for her powers, but everything happens conveniently. It's Friday the 13th. Conveniently, Vincent, who's the most powerful warlock of all warlocks, is having a celebration with all these other warlocks. So, conveniently, she shows up with Bogel and Weerd, and they steal some abilities from people, their warlock abilities, and then she hypnotizes Vincent, and he falls in love with her, and everyone is so oblivious to it. It's so annoying. But then, finally, the climax of the episode, they are doing a wedding, because I guess Vincent's a little strict about kissing anyone. He has to be married first, type thing. And summing it up here very fast, Nekara, she is a very bad villain. She just, instead of telling Bogel and Weerd to get rid of this mystery inking that is just like messing up her plans, she's doing the like least amount of work to get rid of them, because Scooby, Shaggy, and Daphne doing all these wacky hijinks to get Nekara away from Vincent, or to get them distracted to hold Vincent until midnight so the powers doesn't work. But it doesn't work out, and right at midnight she kisses Vincent, but it was bad timing because Vincent comes back and she gets captured into the chest of demons at the end. Nekara is very close to F tier, but because of how strong her abilities are, even though she didn't use them in the best way, she's gonna go in the top of mid. Next up, we have Vincent's demon witch rival, Marcella. Yes, Marcella, like the food. I'm not joking. He says it like that. Anyway, Marcella is gonna be a crazy ghost to cover because she's actually a witch. Now, story here. Wow. Marcella is a little bit wonky of a villain. She is a witch that is dead, obviously, but she's like the witch upon all witches. So she has this book of spells, and if a witch or a group of witches do all the stuff in the spell book and do spell 13, they release her, because instead of just going to the normal world after getting out of the chest of demons, she goes to the zone, which we don't know a lot about it, is this little purgatory that you're just in for a little bit until someone gets you out. So instead of just going to the real world, she goes to this midnight zone type thing. It's called the zone. We don't really know much about it, but Vincent goes there to go see her, and he laughs at her for not just going to the real world after leaving the chest of demons. But nope, she goes there because she can't go to the real world except when someone releases her with the incantation spell thing. Forgetting all that, we have the Brewski sisters, who are the witch sisters that are basically the Three Stooges if they were witches. She picks the worst witches to do the incantation because these people are literally the Three Stooges. I mean, look at this.
We are witches of the night. We're so hot we're out of sight. Come in.
And because of that, the Brewski sisters fall into where the gang is, and the gang take the dark book of spells, and they take it multiple times, all this stuff. And finally, to the climax, Marcella is ready to leave because Vincent is like being so annoying, and she's like already, after getting all their stuff, the Paris sewer water, the rattlesnake, whatever, after getting all that stuff, they finally go to Stonehenge to get their big pot and do all their witch whatever, and Marcella appears and she thinks that she's coming back, but she's not. In this time, Vincent comes back after being saved by this little gremlin dude, don't ask, it's weird, and comes back, rewrites the whole entire spell 13. The witches, because they're so stupid, they didn't realize that he did that. So guess what? She goes into chest of demons because the spell told her to. So yeah, even in the beginning of the whole entire episode, Vincent was already joking at her like she's not good. She thinks she's so powerful, but she's so clumsy at the same time. So I think we have our first F tier. But even Vincent knows she's just a joke, because why would she send herself to the zone instead of the real world? F tier, there's our first F tier. Next up, we have Time Slime from the It's a Wonderful Scoob episode. It's a ploy on It's a Wonderful Life. So Time Slime is a time mastermind, and he's also a demon from the chest of demons. Now he has his time scepter, which he stole from I don't know who, and it controls time. Literally controls time. He can freeze time, go to the present, past, future, all of the above. He can do it. and now Vincent comes to go get Scooby to go to where Time Slime is, because Time Slime just captured the gang and the new Scooby replacement, and this is where the whole It's a Wonderful Life ploy gets into place. So Vincent stops time. Vincent pauses time with the Time Scepter right before Time Slime opens the chest of demons, and the gang are about to get absolutely murdered by this knight with a giant mallet type thing. So Vincent grabs Scooby once time is frozen and sends him to the future to see what would happen if Scooby doesn't help the gang. And we get to see Time Slime ruling over everything. This is a pretty iconic scene with the Time Slime, Time Slime type music. And Shaggy's gone bananas. Scrappy and Flim Flam are a part of a gang, and Daphne is a slave. It is crazy. Then we come back to the present, and Time Slime is about to get captured. He gets captured, sent to Chest Demons. At the end, happily ever after, everyone lives. Scooby is back to being our Great Dane, and Time Slime, just because of his time powers, he's going and would kill me. You really thought I put in Demon no cap, didn't you? No, very powerful. Not gonna lie, he is very powerful. We will have one Demon no cap, guaranteed. But let's go to Demondo, who is definitely not. Demondo is a demon that he has the power of this skull juice ink that he has, that he can literally turn comics into real monsters, and he's going to use all that ink to turn all these comics into demons to take over the world. But first he has to get rid of the ghost chasing gang, so he recruits Bogel and Weerd to get the chest of demons take the chest of demons from Scooby and the gang, so they can't do anything with his whole entire plan. And Scooby, Shaggy, Daphne, Flim Flam, and Scrappy all get sent to a comic book. Not any comic book. Scooby's favorite comic book, Platypus Duck.
Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Why, the star of this strip. Who else? Platypus Duck.
My hero!
Howdy, folks. What's the good word? I've got a beak, but I'm not a bird. I'm a mixed-up mammal and a crazy cluck. Quack, quack, quack. I'm Platypus Duck. Hiya, Scooby. How do you do?
And a lot of hijinks into a lot of funny moments. Demondo gets his pen stolen by Scooby and their whole entire teleporting thing. And the pen actually is the only way to get back from the comic world. So, good thing Scooby had it. But wait, Scooby also lost it in a whole nother comic strip, and they don't know where it is. So, Platypus Duck is like, alright guys, I know a guy who knows all where everything is. The Wacky Wizard. Wacky Wizard's pretty wacky. So, he helps. They find where the pen is, they get the pen, Demondo loses the battle, and Demondo stays in the comic book inside the chest of demons for the remainder of his sad ghost. Demondo. F tier. He had a great idea, not really, and he threatened Scooby one time, and he's kind of weird looking too. He's not really scary. I don't know. Next up, we have Rancor, who is a little bit more threatening than our other demons on the list. He can possess other people. He can turn people into stone. So in this episode, he is determined to join SAPS, which is a organization with a bunch of other ghosts in it, and he wants to join it. So his plan is to get Vincent to look into this red diamond thing, and it turns Vincent into stone. And if Vincent, within 24 hours, doesn't look at a different thing to not be turned into stone, he will become a statue and die. The whole entire thing here, Rancor is just trying to get into SAPS because he is a mediocre demon. He hasn't actually been like a professional yet with all these other guys, so he really is trying so hard. So he gets Vincent to look at the red diamond and turn into stone. Obviously, Vincent is saved in the end, but Rancor's whole thing is pretty menacing, but he takes a back seat in this episode for the most part, because we get Bogel and Weerd trying to get into SAPS as well. So they do a bunch of random goofy things to try to get into SAPS, including helping the gang get the mask to help Vincent, which is pretty crazy. But again, they were just doing it to get into SAPS. So in the end, Bogel and Weerd don't get into SAPS. Rancor is put into the chest. And Rancor is actually a vampire goblin, and he kind of looks like a demon. He has goat feet, and he turns into a bat. He can possess people. He's got a lot of abilities. Not enough, but I'm going to put him in alright tier. Next up, we have Professor Fantazmo from one of the most popular episodes of the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, the circus episode where Scooby comes back to his hometown where his parents are, and there's a circus in town run by Professor Fantazmo, and it's Fantazmo's circus. Now, it's a little strange because everything is free. No pay to entry, everything's free. Free food, free rides, free everything. Why? Because this is a circus that you can never leave. Unless you really want to leave. So, whole thing, Fantazmo is a hypnotist as well. He can hypnotize you to join him. The circus looks so amazing you don't want to leave. Then you become his slaves, and he looks very, very human in the episode, but later in the episode we find out he is a demon, and he turns into an old looking dead zombie looking guy. And all his little helpers are actually monsters that were posed as humans. And that scene alone is pretty scary, I guess. It really shows his whole... he looks like he's just a normal guy for the most part. He's a little strange, but he's not really a ghost. But he is. So Flim Flam falls for his whole scheme. Flim Flam becomes his servant. But when they destroy the Calliope, which is playing the music, that's what breaks everything and turns Fantazmo to the actual ghost demon he is. And all his, after the Calliope is destroyed, he's trying so hard to get Flim Flam to join him again, rebuild the Calliope. Now, something with the circus, because the circus is also a big part. Scooby and the gang, when they get back to their house, the house turns into the circus. So basically the house teleports to where the circus is. It's crazy that Fantazmo has the power to just, you're not safe anywhere you go. You're gonna eventually come back to the circus. Eventually. So Fantazmo is going in alright tier again. So now we have our last villain, Zimbulu. Zimbulu. He is the final ghost of the 13 ghosts. Number 12, as a matter of fact. While visiting a TV studio, the gang finds themselves swindled out of the chest of demons. So the gang is going to be on this TV show with the host of the TV show, Boris Creepoff, and he's like a zombie looking guy, but I guess he's human. He's not really a zombie. Boris is a longtime friend of Vincent, but now they're not really friends for whatever reason. And Boris invited them on to show off the chest of demons just for TV so people can see, and it's a horoscope type TV show, and the girl who reads the horoscopes is actually being possessed by Zimbulu. So Zimbulu is probably one of the most forgettable and also one of the most unique designs for one of our ghosts here. He looks like a lion. He's got claws like an animal, and he's got a huge mane and a giant beard and goat feet. Of course, you can't forget the goat feet. He is a crazy demon, and that's gonna put him up a little bit because most of the time he's not really in the episode. We really focus on the chest of demons missing after they were at the TV station. This episode really drags on for a long time. It's a very long episode, and for a finale, it doesn't really feel like a finale. That's probably why they made the movie afterwards. But yeah, he's very intimidating. So he can also possess people. He possessed the girl who reads the horoscope. He becomes her basically. I don't know if he was her the whole time. So most of the time he's actually just using Bogel and Weerd to do everything for him. He's like, all right guys, you can do this. He's not doing much. I gotta say this, guys. Zimbulu is mid. That means we have no S tiers. No S tiers. Now, Time Slime could go up in S tier. The Mirror Monster could go in S tier, but I don't want them to. I think this is a great tier list final thing. Before we end, we have one more thing of monsters. We have these zombies. Now, these zombies, who we only see for a little bit in the last episode, and this is the first and only time we see them, are pretty funny. I really enjoy them. If there was another tier, I would put them in funny tier. They're very enjoyable. I love the art and the design on them. They're funny little zombies. It's pretty cool. So in the end of the episode, Boris opens the chest of demons, letting the demons out. Yep, they are literally let all the demons out. But instead of all flying around and leaving the chest, the demons just float around above the chest. So Flim Flam comes with his spook sucker vacuum thing. He vacuumed up the ghosts, including Zimbulu, and put him in the chest. And we all live happily ever after. And Which we'll never find out who the last ghost of the 13 Ghosts is. It might have just been the zombies all along. I really don't know. And yeah, guys, happy Scooptober. We have just started Scooptober. It's going to be an amazing month for videos on the Scooby Culprit channel. We have collaborations. We got scary episodes, and we have a tier list, which is right here. So without further ado, here's the tier list in its entirety, missing a few villains because I don't want to put them there. You remember it. I don't know if you will. It's my opinion. We have no S tier, and that's about it. See ya.
13 of the foulest specters you have ever seen, and they're coming to Cartoon Network the day after Halloween. They're the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. Scooby's got to find all 13 of those detestable demons and put them in this box. Because he let them out of it. And if he doesn't put them back, they'll destroy the world. And that would be bad. All 13 episodes of the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, Saturday at noon on Cartoon Network.